Hey guys, Don Master here. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and appreciate all you guys who enjoy watching my content. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit different that I've been trying to do more of, and that is a 1-year review of heavy daily use on this impact wrench that I purchased from my Mac dealer. At the time, it was $3.99 with a 5 amp hour battery, a 2 amp hour or a 3 amp hour battery, and it came with a charger, and it came with a full metric set of standard length impact metric wobble sockets, not Mac USA, but they were the expert Taiwan sockets, which they're okay, but I've had some issues with them. I've had to warranty a couple of them, but no big deal. Anyways, mainly what we're focusing on today is this DeWalt 12 volt extreme. Heavy use. And you could probably barely even read the part number, but it is the dcf903 3/8 inch impact wrench. 2850 RPM, 3250 impacts per minute. This is a brushless unit. Labels are missing on the back. And here, this would say brushless. This would say subcompact extreme. And up here, just some warnings that are ripped up. And it still works beautifully. All the lights still work. The only thing I've done to it, I probably didn't have to, but I took apart the whole impact and I cleaned and greased the impact housing, hammer housing. And it's a lot smoother than it was after a year of use. It's something you should do probably every 6 months, is unscrew it, pull the head out, wipe out the old grease, clean everything up, put some new moly grease in there. Don't use too much though, or it'll bog the hammering mechanism down. So this is rated for 400 foot-pounds of torque, and you've seen Torque Test channel. It does actually have a little bit more power than the M12 fuel impact wrench. Not a whole lot, but it does have a lot more. It does have more power, and they test that. And an old coworker of mine had the 12 volt M12 Milwaukee fuel, and I used it sometimes. And then when I got this, I noticed this thing just seemed like it had more RPM, and it was more powerful. I like the fact that it doesn't have a bunch of buttons on it. It's just a variable speed trigger. Just really easy to use, and it's just a brute, man. Like, this thing's just a tank. This thing's been dropped tons of times. It's had oil. I haven't dropped it in a bucket of oil, but it's been doused with tranny fluid, brake clean, you name it. And it's held up really well. As you can see, the handle is still in good shape. The rubber isn't peeling off of it anywhere. The labels seem to peel off. But yeah, as you can see, this thing is been well used in 1 year of owning it. And these batteries I really enjoy using with the DeWalt 12 volt products, because they are oil resistant housing. So they have a nylon glass filled plastic housing, and then they have a rubber outer shell on the bottom to prevent any kind of cracking, which I have experienced with the regular DeWalt batteries. So that's one plus. The fuel gauge stays lit, and this 5 amp hour battery is a brute also. It lasts a long time on this guy. I mean, I barely ever have to charge the battery, maybe once every 2 weeks, with using this thing every day. maybe once a week at the most. And then if you're really, have this thing overhead and you don't want the extra weight, I would pop this off and I would throw the 3 amp hour on it. If I didn't need a whole lot of extra power and I knew it was something that could get done with the 3.0, I would throw the 3 amp hour on it and get it done. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I recommend it to anyone who's in the DeWalt line or who's thinking about getting into the DeWalt line. The nice thing about the 12-volt batteries is they do charge on the 20-volt battery chargers. They do not charge on the yellow fast air-cooled charger. Maybe the newer version that's black, but I don't know. But yeah, this 5 amp hour battery is a hoss. I have 2 of them, and I don't know. This thing will take lug nuts off of your regular vehicles. Maybe not bigger pickup trucks, but I've used it to take lug nuts off. All sorts of things. It's not something you're going to use to pull cylinder head bolts out with or anything like that, but that have been in there torqued for a long time. But it's pretty good, man, for exhaust bolts and stuff. Manifold bolts. This thing just rips them right out, especially when you throw this 5 amp hour battery on it. It's a real king, I think, in the shop for a 12-volt cordless. It is a little bit heavy compared to like my Mac 1/4 inch impact driver or 1/4 inch impact wrench. You can get the DeWalt version of my Mac 1/4 inch impact driver with a 3/8 anvil, but the torque output is about half of this. So anyway, I didn't buy that. So I brought this home since it is pretty worn out. I mean, the exterior of it still performs, has plenty of power, but I'm going to take the 861 to work and start using it since I do have a lot. So I'm going to be running the 861, and since I've only been using this at home, I'm going to see how I like it. Heavy use at work. I don't want to break it, but I need to use it. And I have that brand new 761, which I'll probably just keep. Maybe I'll sell it. But I also bought this guy. You guys have maybe seen it before, and this is the DeWalt 1/4 inch brushless ratchet, 12 volt extreme. It's a dcf903, 250 RPM, and it's been a good little unit. Little underpowered. You can stall the head pretty easily, but it gets it done. I'm not a fan of it in the shop. I use my snap-on ones. They're a little bit faster and have more power, but this thing works great at home for working on the vehicles around the house. But I think that they could have given them quite a bit more power. They're advertised 45 foot-pounds and 60 foot-pounds on the 3/8, and it's not a good, a true number. They're fast, sounds good, but stalls out pretty easily. The 3/8 one, my coworker has the 3/8 version and the 1/4, and he likes the 3/8 version. He uses it a lot more than the 1/4. He barely uses his 1/4 because he says it stalls out so much. I haven't noticed that as much because I don't use this at work. I use it at home. Let me grab the DCF901 that I have only used about twice. It's brand new, and it came on a really good deal on the Mack truck about 6 months after I bought this one. It came with a set of Mack USA 1/2 inch drive impact universal sockets, metric to 24 millimeter, and it came with a 3-pack, the 3-piece set of the 1/2 inch drive locking impact extensions for $500, and it was a really good buy. I didn't really want the impact, but I figured why not. The sockets and alone are $500, so I got the impact and that and the extensions for $500, and that was a while ago, 6 months ago or more. You know what, knowing now, I think I've had this for about a year and 3 months. I haven't looked at the receipt, but let's get that out of the way. Let me grab the 1/2 inch. So here's the new 1/2 inch. I've had it for quite a while, but I don't use it. It stays at home. It's a little scratched up because I've used it to take some lug nuts off at home because I didn't have my high torque at home. And this is the dcf901, same specs, just a 1/2 inch anvil. And it's a beast as well for a 12 volt tool. But as you can see, just the wear difference between new and used, just what they've been through. They sound about the same. See that wear difference? So yeah, this thing's great. I don't use it much because at work I have the 1/2 inch Matco air impact, and then I have my high torque Mac, and then I have 1/2 inch Matco high torque air impact. I do own a mid torque. I have the dcf904, which is a pretty old tool. I've owned it for a while, a couple years, and it's been pretty good. My only complaint is the pin detent anvil. So it's got this spring-loaded pin, and then it's got a hole down the center to retain that spring. And this has been a good unit, and I'm proud to say that it's made in the USA with global materials. No big deal. It's brushless. This thing's been pretty thrashed though. I used it working on dump trucks and stuff, and it got a lot of stuff done for me. Especially with a 5 amp hour battery on it. I got the oil resistant 5 amp hour battery on it, and this one has a few different settings, which is nice. So it has low, high, sorry for the wobbling, low, high, and torque assist, which is nice for taking lug nuts off. It doesn't throw them off. It gradually slows down once it's broke them loose. And once they came out with the new DCF 899, or is it DCF 891, the new one, I've been really contemplating purchasing it, but I don't use mid-torque that much. Usually if it's a really tight, smaller bolt or whatever, I don't know, I usually just grab a ratchet and break it loose manually, or I grab my high torque. And I just don't see this using the mid-torque that much as I thought I would. And I was excited to buy this. It was on sale at Home Depot a couple years ago. Really good price. I think I paid like $149 for it, bare tool. And this is rated for 600 foot-pounds breakaway. And then the new one's rated for 800 breakaway. And the new one just topples like all the other mid-torques, and it's almost as powerful as some of the high torques. So that's one reason why I'm thinking about getting the new version of this. And it looks pretty close to the same. They just changed the nose cone a little bit, and then they added push button selection down here instead of the tried and true dial. But nothing bad to say about this except the pin detent. It's kind of a pain to put sockets on and off. I wish I probably still can't. I can get a different anvil for it and convert it. That's probably what I'll do, and I'll just keep running this sucker. So anyway, guys, hope you like this little review, I guess, mainly of the 903 that I've had for over a year now, and it's still going strong, and I recommend it to anyone. Battery doesn't fall out like a Milwaukee. Milwaukee, we are here for you. we come out with new tools and we push and push the new tools because we want you to buy them, but we don't fix the M12 battery problem or the M18 battery problem. You know, I just stick with DeWalt because their batteries don't disconnect. You know, the M18s, the batteries don't fall out, but they disconnect. On their high torque impact, last place I worked at, the shop had an M12 fuel or M18 fuel high torque. And that thing, man, if you were in a high torque situation, it would just shut off under load because the battery would shake so much. And it got so bad we had to send it out and have it warranted, and they replaced the whole housing, and it fixed it. But for how long? You know, how many times are we gonna have to send it out and wait a month? You know. Anyways, enough rambling on. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell. Have a good weekend.